Um, my family actually moved to Chestertown from northern New Jersey when I was 6 months old. So Chestertown is really the only place that I know, quite honestly. So ended up going throughout the entire school system here. Started off at Henry Highland, went on to Chestertown Middle School, and then Kent County High School. Had a great time there. Thankfully, a lot of my friends, we all went through Henry Highland Garnet together. So we've been lifelong friends, quite honestly. So, but just like any other kid growing up in Kent County, you find it boring. You kind of want to see the world. So I definitely wanted some excitement, and that's what eventually took me away to Elon University down in North Carolina, where I studied environmental studies. So I had a really good time down at Elon. Was able to study abroad in China, so I was able to see the world a little bit. And when it came time to start making graduation plans and things like that, I had my eyes set on Baltimore or DC, just because I wasn't quite ready to come back to rural Chestertown. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, am I really ready for the big city, especially growing up here in little old Chestertown? And it sunk in that I need to go home, that I needed to go back home to Chestertown, the place that I love. And it actually took me leaving Chestertown and being away for 4 years to realize how much I truly, truly love this place. So I definitely like to see Chestertown as a glass half full. There's a lot of potential for Chestertown, and especially living in Coventry Farms. My family has lived there for the past 9 years now. I just drive up and down Flatland Road every day, and I just see so many possibilities with just that one stretch of road. For example, it is a very dark road to walk at night. There are no sidewalks, yet Flatland Road has the most pedestrians in the entire town, but they don't have the adequate services to accommodate them. So they're forced to walk on the street. And it's unfortunate that I see children riding bikes, I see women pushing baby carriages as speeding motorists are driving by. And the last thing anybody wants to do is read about a pedestrian or a cyclist struck and killed in the Kent County News. That just happened. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. So, getting adequate services on Flatland Road is so important. And I mean, that's my biggest issue because I do live in that area. And as a potential council person for Ward 3, my residents are going to be looking to me to ensure that that happens in a timely fashion. But there's a lot of exciting things happening. I think what's happening with the waterfront, I mean, that's huge. If you look at what people my age are looking for, they're looking for walkable communities. They're looking for towns that have vibrant downtowns. They're looking for, truly unique things like an active waterfront. We're not looking for suburban sprawl. We're not looking for any more Kent plazas, the Strip. There's nothing unique about the Strip. We are looking for places that have that charm, that have that character, places that we can identify with, which is why we all flock to the city when we graduate from college, or we're forced to move to the city when we leave high school. I mean, that's just the places that we're looking for. We definitely have to take a different approach when it comes to marketing what's available here in Chestertown, especially with the younger generation that has spent time growing up in the digital age. We are very much so web focused. So making sure that Chestertown becomes web focused is definitely a big priority. You have several social media sites like Pinterest, for example, where you have people, especially people of my generation, looking at a website of just pictures. for hours over a given week. And those pictures, I mean, include anything from fashion to places that they want to visit, things that they want to do, unique towns and cities that they want to travel to. And they're literally just looking at pictures, and those pictures are what they gravitate to, and then they end up saving those images and saving those pictures onto what they call a board. And I mean, that's such a unique opportunity for Chestertown to really get those images right on the web for people to start looking at, and then start potentially pinning on their board of places that I want to travel to, places that I want to see, or places that I want to live. And I mean, that's so inexpensive at the same time. All you need is some really good scenery, some really nice buildings. And last time I checked, Chestertown definitely has that covered. We have the scenery with the Chester River waterfront, you know, the rural nature of the Eastern Shore. We have the historic district and you know, all of that incredible architecture. And I mean, that's a gold mine right there. Well, when you look at the overall sources of revenue and you see that it's very tight, it does make sense that there's very little left over, which is why taking a different approach to marketing and taking a different approach to economic development is so important. You know, I definitely firmly believe in investing in the human capital that we have here in Chestertown. We have Washington College that has a business program, and we have a high school that offers business classes. You know, making sure that those students have the opportunity to really look into potentially starting their own business here in Chestertown. You don't have to go too far to recruit talent that we already have. I work in the Washington College admissions office. My job is to recruit talented students to attend Washington College. I see the incredible things that these students are working on. I see what they're doing. And I know for a fact that all it takes is to just get them, you know, turned on to the idea of starting their own business here in Chestertown. And one thing that we certainly need to do a little bit better is, you know, make sure that they have resources on things that let them know how to start their own business. I mean, starting your own business, it seems like such a laborious task. I mean, where do you start? Where do you begin? And just making sure that they have the resources available so that it kind of guides them. This is what you do first. This is who you approach first. I think that's really important and something that we don't have. Cambridge, they have a great website where, you know, the city itself doesn't have a lot of financing, but what they do right on the Cambridge website is, if you're interested in starting a business, they kind of give you the resources on how to go about starting it, and they'll give you some tips on how to go about finding the financing to help start your own business. You know, doing something like that for Chestertown, I think, is very easy. But in terms of where that capital comes from, because there's very little money in the budget for Chestertown, like I said before, it's definitely going to take some collaborative work between Kent County, between Chestertown, approaching Chesapeake Bank and People's Bank, working together to really develop the human capital. I mean, that is ultimately what we're going to have to do. You know, I believe it's called the Eastern Shore Land Conservancy. You know, it's if you look at those things, they're all partnerships, and they're all collaborative work. I mean, that's essentially the root of all of those organizations. So in terms of like creating like an economic development task force for Chestertown, actually having a central body to lead the economic development conversation so that everybody's, you know, not looking to the town council or looking to private investors. You have one central source that everybody can look to lead that conversation. starting that task force will definitely be a great idea. And in terms of just the overall membership of that task force, including the likes of the chamber, a representative from the Chamber of Commerce, perhaps a representative from the town council, a representative potentially from the Washington College of Business Department, I think it definitely has a lot of potential to really truly lead that economic development conversation.